Hi, hope you all are doing really well. So recently, elections in 5 states of India concluded. And yet again, Narendra Modi turned out to be BJP's election-winning machine. Under PM Modi, out of more than 65 elections, BJP won big in more than 50 elections, all on its own. It's not only established itself in key northeastern states, but also went on to become the principal opposition in West Bengal and gained crucial vote share in key southern states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Now, the bigger question is, what is behind this tremendous winning record? Has it become a cakewalk for BJP? Is it using the government machinery to influence elections? Or has BJP finally succeeded to unite the fragmented social and demographic fabric of India? Let's explore. Let's take a few steps back and analyze India's electoral history. India conducted 17 general elections and several state and local body elections since 1951. Now, there is a reason why India is called the largest democracy in the world. Every season, more than 3/4 of a 1.4 billion population cast their free and fair vote. Every election is a festival of its own. The energy, enthusiasm, and participation have always been at its primal best. With more than 2,800 registered parties, it's one of the most complex political systems. Today, India has 8 national, 54 state, and more than 2,700 small, unrecognized parties. Now, at first, this may seem really cumbersome and disorganized, but the reality is, Indian elections, be it states or national, are exquisitely organized and heavily guarded. Now, before we continue to dive deeper into the reasons of BJP's spectacular wins one after the other, let's analyze the social construct of India, because that's very important to understand the political scenario in India. Now, India is home to every culture in the world. Many survived only in India and are now extinct from their origins. Historically, Indians have always been an assimilating culture. But more than 400 years of foreign rule uncovered several fault lines in Indian society. Now, while ancient India was driven by skills and occupation, modern India was divided into castes, creeds, and more importantly, many religions. Now, let's come back to the politics. Now, people vote based on several fundamental things, such as ideology, social requirements, growth, etc. Now, while this is true for other democracies, India became house to a new type of political strategy, and that was religion. Now, as democracy matured, so did the strategies to garner vote. These strategies stretched from castes all the way to religions. Parties like Bahujan Samaj Party, Samajwadi Party, Rashtriya Janata Dal identified an easy way to come in power by appeasing a certain caste and religion. All in all, there came a flood of regional parties. These were these very small parties which exploited the fault lines to garner power. This continued for decades, and it even continues now. It's not that it has stopped. But in 1998, for the first time, BJP, the Bharatiya Janata Party, came into power with a new model of government formation called the coalition model, and ran a successful government for almost 8 years. Since then, the country saw coalition governments up until 2014. Now we are slowly stepping into the new BJP, or the new Indian politics. Now, 2014 became turning point in India's politics. Narendra Modi came in power with a thumping majority, winning 336 seats, and BJP getting an absolute majority on its own. This has happened decades after the last time any party got majority. Now, political analysts thought this was a one-time affair and primarily driven by the discontent which was among the people, but they were absolutely wrong. You see, 2014 was just a start. After that, one after the other, BJP decimated opposition state by state and expanded into more than 70% of Indian states, getting votes from all factions and segments of society, including Muslims who were always considered anti-BJP. So what changed? It has been established that as democracy matures, people deprioritize community and prioritize delivery. Caste, creed, language, gender, play a lesser and lesser role, and people come together to decide based on the trust and the record of delivery. There is a lot of indication that people of India have finally transformed from being divided by caste to united by delivery. Let me explain what I mean. You see, Narendra Modi is not only a shrewd politician, he's also an experienced, efficient, and strong administrator. It's not very difficult to unlock why PM Modi is winning over and over and over again. My friends, it's very simple, and that is his delivery efficiency. Now, since coming to power, BJP government took charge of some of the difficult and the most complex, massive programs, and not only delivered them, but made sure that the benefits which they realize were realized to every beneficiary across the country, irrespective of which caste they belong, which creed they belong, which religion they belong. I don't want to go into all the details, but I will definitely name a few. For example, Jan Dhan scheme became transformative in India's banking industry. Make in India, Swachh Bharat, Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana, Mudra scheme, Ujjwala scheme, and there are many more. I will list some of them on the side. But the reality is that these schemes became the fundamental pillars or foundation for what BJP is today. And obviously, I'm not going to go into details of all these, and all of these can be easily Googled. But I do want to point out a couple of examples. Take an example of Gram Awas scheme, which targets providing housing for all. While not a new scheme, just look at the implementation under Modi. While up until 2014, since launch in 1980, only 7.2 million houses were built, more than 20 million houses have been built since 2014. Not only this, under this new scheme, it was mandatory to have the house in the name of the woman of the house rather than the man of the house. Pay attention to this. This not only shows his ability to deliver at scale, but it also shows his awareness of social issues. The impact of these nuances is so much that it increased the trust of the people, especially the women, in the government and the awareness of the governance. Similarly, watch Swachh Bharat, pension schemes, and many others. They are all highly successful and well implemented programs. Another most important aspect of PM Modi's appeal is his decisiveness. While there are several examples, but the one which stands out is the abrogation of Article 370. Once considered a permanent temporary arrangement, was stuck by precision by this government, and the situation was handled really well in Kashmir and other areas. Now finally, COVID-19 situation. You see, due to growth of digital reach in India, now it's not possible to sway public opinion by creating false narratives in newspapers and TV channels. While the opposition tried their best to create a panic situation, once again, Narendra Modi was able to use his expertise and administration skills to not only control the situation, but also made India self-reliant in terms of vaccines, health facilities, and precautionary measures. All in all, BJP and Narendra Modi's success is not because they are implementing some extreme rationalization of Hindutva or trying to create a communal divide. The reality is delivery, decisiveness, and reachability. Not only this government has continued to deliver, but it has shown true intent to continue this decisiveness and deliver the benefits to the last person standing in the queue. And that's what the people are reading and trusting, which is what giving BJP win over win in many key elections. This is what is the reason why BJP won Uttar Pradesh decisively. It's the delivery and reach of Yogi Adityanath government versus anything else. But there's always another side of the story. One key reason for BJP's decisive wins is dysfunctional opposition and zero competition. In my opinion, all opposition parties have totally lost all credibility amongst people. Their continuous hounding of all schemes of the government without any reason has self-exposed itself as hollow and meaningless. Even things which have delivered real value to people were criticized and ridiculed, which further alienated people. You see, opposition doesn't mean that you have to oppose everything come what may. Parties like Congress would have gained more by partnering with the government in some of the crucial schemes and helped it realize its value, rather than choosing to keep opposing, which made people squint at their intentions, and hence they have been losing ground at lightning speed. So the bigger question is, how can Indian opposition gain any ground if possible? Well, that's the billion-dollar question, but honestly, the answer is really simple. It's time opposition stops thinking that people of India are fools. Stop underestimating the intellectual capacity of common men, common women of India. It's time that opposition aligns itself with the government with regards to schemes which are pro-people and question the government on things which are true truly misaligned. Instead of hounding and tweeting, it would be important to show people that they intend to work towards the solution. For example, why can't Congress create a plan to tackle commodities price rise and share with the government, and offer to jointly help resolve the issue versus hounding and trying to question Narendra Modi's intent, as it will only backfire. It's time opposition take a constructive route and work with the government towards a better India, else the aggressive pro-BJP alignment will continue its aggressive expansion and will wipe out thousands of regional parties and, most importantly, the national party in competition. With that said, I truly believe that Narendra Modi's leadership is what India needed desperately, and I'm really excited to see the rational approach Indian voters have taken towards Indian politics. This trend is now there to stay, which is a great news for India and the world. With those words, wish you all great health and happiness, and see you in the next one. Bye and take care.